Well, from the government's fiscal house to the house that Tiffany built, shares of Tiffany & Company, heard Zara just talking about it, the world's second largest luxury jewelry retailer, jumped to the highest level in almost a year after profit fell less than analysts estimated on higher than expected sales and lower expenses. It is a sign, perhaps, that consumers and investors alike are opening up their wallets when it comes to luxury retailers. Well, joining us to talk about this group is Howard Davidowitz, chairman of Davidowitz & Associates. So, Tiffany, that report, investors certainly liked it. Still some not great numbers, but not as bad as everybody was expected. So the luxury retailer still alive in your view?
Dead in the water, Carol. Let's go over why. The Tiffany story is sales were horrendous. Sales down more than 20%. I mean, it couldn't be worse.
Well, it could be worse because
was worse.
Analysts were expecting worse for this quarter. So it could have been worse.
The comp store sales, let me repeat, the comp store sales of over 20 means you have collapsed. Let's talk about what the analysts are happy about, and they should be. Fabulous management on the part of Tiffany. Great expense control, great inventory control, cut back in investment. That's the story of the retail business. The survivors are managing their business in a very tough time. There is not a scintilla of evidence in Tiffany's sales to tell us anything. When you do more than 20 comp negative and you find the plus in that, you got to be a genius. And by the way, I think Krugman is certifiably mad with our $9 trillion deficit. They ought to lock him up. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But Tiffany did a great job. And the good news about Tiffany, we've closed 2,000 jewelry stores.
Right.
We're going to close another 2,000. It's a train wreck. And the survivor will be Tiffany's because they are best in class, they're the best operator, and they will gain market share, and they do have a strong balance sheet.
So is Tiffany the exception, though, then, Howard, when it comes to luxury retail? I mean, you see a lot of other luxury retailers going down, or what?
Of course. Look at the big...
So who?
Let's go. Now, I'm not going to say who's going to go down, but I'm going to say who are the biggest ones and analyze them. Barney's in New York City was just bailed out by Ishtamar, right? They were broke.
Again.
Ishtamar came in, they put in money, Barney's is still operating. Saks, $180 million in losses, comp store sales terrible. Neiman Marcus and LBO owes billions, 25 minus comp every month. It's a non-sustainable. So these are the biggest players in luxury, and it's terrible. And now, I would have expected them to do a little better, and I'll tell you why.
Who's they?
All the luxury.
Okay.
Because the excellent performance of capital markets has disproportionately helped the wealthiest customers. So you would have expected, and I expected, based on capital market performance, them to do a little better. They didn't do a little better in sales. They've all done superbly on expense cutting.
All right, so give me actionable information. I'm thinking for investors. I mean, you're saying that the landscape's obviously, you're not going to name names for us, you never do,
no.
But the landscape's going to look very different.
He went through a whole list of names just now.
But he didn't
say who's going to go down.
But if you buy a Tiffany, and the whole jewelry industry is collapsing, and they are. Finlay Fine Jewelry, by the way, and the last time I was here, I said they would go broke. I named that one. They went broke last week. 100 Bailey Banks and Biddle stores. They just went broke.
So who do you think's going to be? You don't want to talk about who's going to go down. I understand that. Who, though, you think are really going to be the survivors then, Howard?
Tiffany. In other words...
But out of all the luxury retailers, we're all going to be just...
No, of course not. Well, in the jewelry sector,
okay,
I think Tiffany. I think Nordstrom is a survivor. I think Coach is a survivor. I think Hermes is going to be a magnificent survivor.
That'll make Matt happy.
Of course. Hermes, mainly my wife. She's got all the... But the point is that there's going to be lots of survivors, but as fewer look at Bed Bath & Beyond. They're doing great since Linens and things went away.
Right. I think we'd both prefer to look at Hermes than Bed Bath & Beyond.
Matt, I agree with you.
Howard, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, as usual. Howard Davidowitz, chairman of Davidowitz &